tonight?
Well, I expect a more relaxed Dallas team. They played very tense and tight, especially on the offensive end. They need to get off to a good start, Kevin. They dug themselves a big hole early that they could not get themselves out of.
And they go inside as Nowitzki's pass is off the fingertips of McGrady and out of bounds.
One of the things they have to do, too, they have to solve this Rocket defense. Get some movement in their offense, Kevin. They only had 20 points in the paint. They average about 39. And we know the Rockets are the best in the league at guarding that painted area.
Nowitzki coming off a horrible shooting first game. A toss away right there. Here comes Bob Sura the other way, working around Howard. And Bowen starting for a second consecutive playoff game. This is Yao Ming against Dampier.
Expect him to get more touches tonight. Only 8 shots. He got himself in foul trouble, but Dikembe Mutombo has been terrific off the bench.
There's a knockaway by Yao, who's out there with Sura, McGrady, Bowen, and David Wesley. That is the Rocket 5. Dallas countering with Howard, Terry, Dampier, Nowitzki, and Michael Finley. It's Tracy McGrady inside on Dampier, who picks up the Dallas foul. This is game 2 with these rivals in Texas, and if you don't think that the coaches like Jeff Van Gundy and the players like Dirk Nowitzki don't feel the playoff pressure, well, all I have to do is just take a look at these pictures and know how important this game 2 is. McGrady at the free throw line.
Well, Tracy McGrady was terrific in game 1. Kevin, you talked about it, 34 points, 6 assists. His fingerprints were all over that game. And on the flip side of that, Dirk Nowitzki, maybe his worst game of the year, 5 of 19 from the floor, 6 turnovers. He knows he has to play great at an MVP level that he played at all season long. And Tracy McGrady, that smooth gliding player, has been on a roll the last 8-9 games here for the Houston Rockets.
Sura is on Terry. And Michael Finley, who had a very so-so game 1, it's an important early shot for him.
Well, one of our keys tonight, Kevin, is Finley and Nowitzki. Those 2 guys, the heart and soul of this team. They had a very tough night tonight, 7 of 27. They have to play well, the both of them combined, for them to win the game tonight.
Wesley to Bowen to T-Mac, who had the 34. Bowen left open to fire. He's out of Iowa in his 6th NBA season. Picked up by Howard. Look at Yao Ming on the floor. He and Terry grapple, and that is a foul. And it's on Yao.
That is the sense of urgency you play with when you're down 0-1 in a series. Tough foul for Yao Ming to get here. Great hustle. Cannot control it. Jason Terry comes flying in, and there is the loose ball foul. And for Jeff Van Gundy, those are not the kind of fouls you want Yao Ming to pick up. You love the effort. You hate the foul.
Crew tonight, Dan Crawford, Greg Willard, Mark Wunderlich, Dirk Nowitzki. Rebound by Tracy McGrady. And he had 6 rebounds in game 1. McGrady again floats in for 2.
He is so smooth.
And playing at the very top of his game, here is Terry.
Well, you heard Jeff Van Gundy talking about it. You heard our crew before the game, going from a great player to be a great winner. That's a huge jump.
Nice pass by Finley to Dampier. And that was over Yao Ming.
They have got to get Dampier involved early. When they got behind the other day, they ran him out of the game. They went to a small lineup. He never got involved in the game. They went out to pick him up in the preseason to give him a post presence. They did not use him in game 1. They must get him involved in game 2.
Dallas, first time they had ever opened up a playoff with a home playoff loss. As Yao picks up 2, driving inside. Nowitzki and Dampier were defending. And Dampier picks up his 2nd personal foul for Dallas.
Well, he's probably going to have to sit as you see Keith Van Horn get ready to come in the game. But the powerful finish by Dampier. Had some leg problems this year, missed 23 games. And Yao Ming off to a great start. He has 2 field goals on a post-up and a layup. Van Horn coming into the game, so all of a sudden Dallas back to that small ball that Avery Johnson talked about before the game that they did not want to have to get into early. He said we fell back into playing like the old Mavericks the other day. We held the ball, we played one-on-one, we didn't move it. And as a result, we lost game 1, put too much pressure on ourselves. So let's see how they react here. They dug themselves a hole once again, and Houston playing with great confidence.
Yao didn't take a free throw shot in game 1. Takes one, makes one right there. Here comes Terry against Sura. And the aforementioned Van Horn.
Now the matchup with Van Horn, he's got to attack Yao Ming. Yao Ming has got to play him. He will not play Nowitzki. On the other side, Nowitzki will play him.
Wesley for three. And the Rockets have started 3 of 5. Dallas has started 3 of 4. Here comes Michael Finley. This is a 2-point shot. Yao with the rebound.
I don't like that shot. Too early in the clock right now. I know Michael Finley's trying to get himself involved in the game. He can get that later in the shot clock.
Rebounding even so far early in the game and fumbled away by Tracy McGrady. That's the first Rocket turnover.
The Mavericks have got to do a better job forcing some turnovers, Kevin. In game 1, they only had 4 steals. They average about 8 on the season, 4th in the league, so they didn't get any opportunities in the open court. And the Mavericks have got to run. They cannot play strictly a half-court game.
Rockets have led early by 5. Dallas has not had a lead. 5 by Yao, leading all scores. That is a 3, and it is right down the middle. Jason Terry, who became a starter in mid-December after spending some futile years in Atlanta and getting his second playoff start in his career tonight.
Well, you know, he's a lot more relaxed than he was in game 1. He even admitted to the jitters before the game, which everybody has.
That's a foul. It's on Josh Howard of Dallas. Well, Dallas is down 1-0, led by Avery Johnson. Here are some of the keys, the blueprint for Dallas' success tonight.
I thought they got themselves in trouble when they got outscored 26-16 in the first quarter. Shot only 4 of 19 from the floor. Nowitzki and Finley 7 of 27 in the first game. They've got to be great. And then bench support. The last 23 games, the bench has averaged 34. In game 1, they were outscored 32-19. Stackhouse and Van Horn have to be big.
And Dallas has Van Horn in there early. McGrady fanning on a 3. It's loose, and Terry vacuums it in. Dampier on the bench with 2 early fouls for Dallas. Jason Terry, and pickpocketed by Bowen. Ahead to Bob Sura, knifing his way in with the foul called on the Dallas Mavericks and on Keith Van Horn. So already at that position, Dallas has picked up 3 quick fouls, 2 on Dampier, and his replacement, Van Horn, with his first.
Jason Terry is looking to push the ball up the floor, but he's been a little bit out of control. You can understand he's wanting to make plays, pick up the tempo, trying to do the right things. Again, this is only his second playoff game, but on that possession, didn't recognize Ryan Bowen coming back into the play, played the passing lane perfectly. And, you know, when we talked to Jeff Van Gundy today, one thing he wanted to do was get something easy in the open court. He said, you know, Doug, they hammered us on the offensive boards the other night, 19 offensive rebounds. We have got to show that we can get out and run a little bit so they will respect us and not just try to send all 5 guys to the offensive boards all night long. They almost gave that game up the other day by giving up so many second chance opportunities.
Already the Rockets have gone 5 of 5 from the free throw line. Dallas has not taken a free throw shot yet. There is a Dallas turnover, and number 4, Doug, on the Mavericks.
And you can see Jason Terry, inexperienced. He's not really a true point guard. He's a scoring point guard. Steve Nash has been here through the years. A lot of conversation after game 1 now, how much they miss Steve Nash. So it's on Jason Terry here to get his team settled down.
Well, they only had 12 assists the other day in game 1, did Dallas. Nice pass, McGrady to Yao, doubled inside. Van Horn picks up his second foul. Now he's got 2, and here's replacing Dampier, who's got 2, much to the chagrin of Avery Johnson. The 3rd member of our crew tonight here in Dallas, David Aldridge. David, good evening.
Guys, you know, Tracy McGrady knows that this is the postseason. On Thursday, he woke up at home doubled over in pain. His back had flared up again, and there was some concern that he might not even be able to play in game 1. He had 5 or 6 hours of treatment on Thursday, iced him, more treatment on Friday. After game 1 on Saturday, he got more treatment. I asked him if he thought his back was going to be an issue, and he said, hey, this is the playoffs, guys.
Well, and his coach, Jeff Van Gundy, says T-Mac trying to transfer himself from just a great player, Doug, to a great winner.
Well, that's a huge
quick foul on Bob Sura.
Well, that's a huge jump because Tracy McGrady's put up big numbers throughout his career. This is the most focused I've ever seen him. I've always felt he could be a first-team all-defender. You heard Kenny Smith talking before the game in the studio about when Tracy played in Toronto, he got on the floor by defending and rebounding. He let that slip a little bit in Orlando when he put up big numbers offensively. He can be the complete player. You'll see him tonight play against Nowitzki, and he has the capability to be first-team all-defense, all-league, and be a special player on both ends of the floor.
And playing some 4, he usually plays some 3. He can play at really 4 different positions tonight, playing the power forward.
Well, that's what they did the other night to win the game. They went small, came in with John Barry, took out Ryan Bowen, slid McGrady down, went with a small lineup and no answers.
There's a steal by Van Horn and the drive. Almost another.
It's going to be a foul on Van Horn.
Yep, that's his third, Doug.
That's a foul you've got to stay away from. Now they've got to go to Sean Bradley, and what you lose in this is you lose the matchup you had with Van Horn being guarded by Yao Ming out on the floor.
Good point. And Yao will be at the free throw line again. Van Horn picks up 3 fouls in 2 minutes. Sean Bradley is in. The rookie from Wisconsin, Devin Harris, has come in for Terry. So it's Finley, Harris, Bradley, Howard, and Nowitzki for Dallas. And Houston, Doug, has not made one change from their opening lineup.
Well, you can see also, too, what Dallas is trying to do. The other night, they did not apply any defensive pressure. And tonight, every score you're seeing them get up the floor, they're trying to create the Rockets to play at a higher pace, a higher tempo, play faster than they played the other day. The Rockets were in a great rhythm. You can see Avery Johnson now trying to disrupt that early in the game.
Finley guarded by Wesley. Now on Finley with a quick double. Josh Howard. Yao deflects the ball. Bowen comes up with it, and Wesley, who was acquired from New Orleans earlier this year, puts it into Yao Ming. 7-5 against 7-6 and 7-5 win.
Oh, what a great start he's off to. Is he giving McGrady a great sidekick here to start this game? Tracy talked to him. You see Tracy McGrady's face. He's encouraging Yao Ming, recognizing how much to really put Dallas behind the 8 ball. Dallas is an excellent road team, 29-12. That's their record. Their road record's as good as their home record. They have the second best road record in the league, and another turnover there. That's 5 already in the game. That's led to 8 points.
Nice knock away by Harris. Neither team made any changes out of that break. Houston still going with their starting 5. Yao leading all scorers with 11. Nice spin move and a rejection by Yao, and picked up by Bradley, who puts it in and brings the Mavericks to within 2. We've had no lead changes. We've had 2 ties. Rockets have led by 5. Dallas has never led in the game. McGrady, great feed to Yao Ming.
Yao Ming is a great screener. Sometimes that's a thing that nobody ever talks much about, but Jeff Van Gundy told us today he's a great screener. Gives McGrady a lot of opportunities to turn that corner. McGrady's making excellent decisions.
That's a big wall to get around, too. And here comes Nowitzki. Pushed and fouled. Count the 2. And the foul goes on Ryan Bowen, who started game 1. And Dirk Nowitzki admitted, I was surprised to see the little used Bowen starting a playoff game against me a couple days ago.
Well, he's really the only guy on their team that has the ability to chase around Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk wants to take him down in the post and either be able to score or pass out of the post. And, you know, Dallas is a much improved defensive team this year, Kevin. But still, they're a team that when they see the ball go in the basket offensively, they play better basketball. They still are a team that depends so much on their ability to score. They're a better defensive team than last year, but still, they're a team that thrives on being able to put points on the board. Only 86 in game 1.
Dallas 14th in points allowed, 8th in field goal defense, and that says a lot. Here comes McGrady. Oh, he just sucked the gravity right out of the building. What a play by T-Man.
How about the passion? Look at the animation on Tracy McGrady. Normally sleepy-eyed, very smooth. You don't see this kind of energy and passion. David Aldridge talked about it's playoff time. Look at the extension. Sean Bradley.
The crowd is oohing and eyeing, as we just did ourselves.
Well, let me give you a little quote that Jeff Van Gundy gave me today. He said, I talked to Tracy McGrady about being a guy who can unite his team with his passing and inspire him with the great plays and passion. That was inspirational. That was an inspirational move.
It was something. Stackhouse is in now for Dallas for the first time. Nowitzki with it, Bowen following him. Stackhouse, one of the best 6th men in the NBA.
Jerry loves to go that right hand. You've got to try to push him left the best you can. Big-time scorer, has the capability of throwing up a big, big night.
Dallas has made a 3. Houston has not made a 3 in 2 tries. Yao and Bradley. McGrady Wesley, nice ball rotation. Sura for three. That's the first three for the Rockets.
When the Rockets move the ball and get good shots, they're tough to beat because they shoot a very high percentage when they're that uncontested.
Stackhouse to Nowitzki, who's doubled inside. Bradley kicks it back out to Harris. Stackhouse for three.
Great hustle play that time by Dallas. 3 bodies on the floor before they came up with a play that gave them a three-point opportunity. That's the kind of hustle plays, energy plays, urgency that you have to have. Here's Sean Bradley's going to be called for another foul, riding Yao Ming across the lane. He's got to be careful not to get a technical. But the foul's really starting to mount up. Watch Yao Ming now. He and Sean Bradley, as they go across the lane, they're locked up. And the referees cannot allow that kind of jostling to go on. Now, if you're Avery Johnson, you can live more with Sean Bradley picking up some extra fouls. You might have to live with him getting 4 fouls right now early in the game, but you can't throw Dampier back out there and have him get his 3rd or Van Horn to get his 4th. So Bradley's got to be very smart right now, and he's got to give him some quality minutes with those guys in foul trouble.
Yao Ming has gone 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 4 of 4 from the field. And he just trains his 15th point to lead all scorers, only player in double figures. McGrady's got 7, 5 for Terry, and 5 for Stackhouse, leading Dallas.
Free throw line big already for Rockets. They're 12 of 12.
Stackhouse, torn away, good steal, another turnover, number 6 for Dallas. Houston, in contrast, with only 3. Here come the Rockets, 7 of 10 to start the game from the floor. Sura, the last time out, just had a 3. The rookie defending him and makes the steal. 2-on-1. Devin Harris, Michael Finley.
Yao Ming smartly stayed away from his 2nd foul. Those are the kind of plays, Yao Ming, you give up that 2 so you can stay on the floor. You don't want to get yourself in foul trouble because you're playing so well. You've got 15 points. Don't go sit down and be an assistant coach. They need you to play.
What a start to game 2 in this best-of-7 first round.
This is so big for the Rockets because it's allowed McGrady to sort of coast to a 7-point first quarter. So when Yao Ming goes out, he'll have enough energy to then to take over the game. This was very, very important for the Rockets to get this kind of work out of Yao Ming here to start this game.
You talk about urgency. You talk about energy as Wesley takes it and feeds to Bowen. They get 2 right there with a great assist from Wesley, but that energy is so important for Houston.
Well, when they start out with those sluggish starts, they never get started during the course of the game. Tonight, that has not been the case.
Rockets still going with their starting 5 the entire first quarter. Stackhouse tries to take it and knife his way inside across the lane. And that is a foul. Looked like maybe Wesley, who was defending, picks up the foul. He does. That is the first on him.
You can see Jerry Stackhouse has come in with a very, very aggressive mindset, looking to drive that ball to the basket on every occasion. And watch David Wesley here fall into Yao Ming's leg. Very fortunate he did not get hurt there. We saw Kwame Brown tweak his knee the other day against Chicago that same way.
Sean Bradley hits. And here comes Houston the other way. They've hit 5 consecutive shots. They've led by as many as 5. Mavericks have never led. 2-point game. McGrady has started 2 of 3. Sura. Bowen. T-man. Nice knock away by the rookie Devin Harris. He's playing big. He struggled in game 1 with only 7 minutes, and Bowen knocked it away and out of bounds, and Dallas will inbounds the ball.
Well, the important part of that play is Tracy McGrady did not give up on the play when the ball was knocked loose. Watch as the ball is knocked loose here. Devin Harris is in front of him, and McGrady tracks him down from behind and uses the nice hand to knock that ball away. Every possession is so important in the playoffs. You've got to take away easy scores, and McGrady did not quit on the turnover.
Jerry Stackhouse. Nowitzki with 3. What a free start. Inside against Yao. Now has Avery Johnson been fooling a bit with his game plan here?
Well, I think that the Mavericks are really trying to spread that ball around. I thought in game 1 they were a little stagnant. When Nowitzki caught the ball, a lot of spectating, not a lot of movement. They didn't get the ball from the strong side, weak side, back to the strong side again. In fact, Avery said the entire game Only 14 times did they ever get the ball from one side of the floor to the other, then back to where it started, which tells you the ball was sticking. And as a result, they got 12 assists, shot a very low percentage. And really, if it weren't for the free throw line, they got to the free throw line 42 times and scored 33 points. They would have struggled to score at all.
Brady picked up his first foul, and Dirk Nowitzki ties the game at 29. And this is the third time this game Dallas has never led. John Barry has come in for Ryan Bowen for Houston. First Rocket substitution. And here is Barry, who had a good game one with the drive. Yao with the rebound and puts it over Bradley. What a play by Yao Ming with 17. His playoff career high is 21.
Best game I've seen him play this season.
It's Nowitzki missing from three. McGrady out duels Bradley for the rebound.
Keep going to Yao Ming. He's inspired. John Barry takes the quick three. I would love to see him throw that ball into the post, let Yao Ming continue to get some touches. He's got the entire front line of the Mavericks in foul trouble.
Dallas is shooting 58%. Rockets are shooting 60%. And the Rockets are +1 in rebounding. Here comes Nowitzki.
This is where they've got to get some movement. This is where they cannot stand around and watch Dirk play. They've got to get some cutters to the basket.
Here comes McGrady to Barry. And picked up by Finley.
Bobby Sura and Sean Bradley in the backcourt. Running into each other. It looks like Sura gave Bradley a little shove after the play. That'll be his second foul. Bobby Sura brings a lot of toughness to this team. Early in the year, he was really the guy who sort of formed the personality till they were able to make some trades and bring in a John Barry and bring in a Mike James. He brought that toughness, that grittiness. Now they can come in with Mike James' championship experience. He's been wearing his championship ring last year from the Pistons with pride. John Barry, a veteran who knows what it's all about in the playoffs. So this Rocket bench, much better than the trades and the things that they made during the course of the season.
They made 4 big acquisitions in a 2-month span from December through February. Here's Bradley at the free throw line, and he is a 68 regular season free throw shooter. With a chance to tie it again. And a fan on that first. Doug, is it safe to say that the Houston Rockets are probably playing about as well as any team right now in the NBA?
I would say that, yes. I would say the Detroit Pistons in the East are playing the best they've played all season. I think Denver, we saw them the other day against San Antonio, are certainly playing well. The Phoenix Suns are playing great basketball. But right now the Rockets, they went through that little lull. And we were in LA with them. They got a win on the road. They went to Phoenix and won. They won in Seattle. They won their last 7. They've now won 8 straight games. Got that little swagger back again.
No fouls to give either way. Mike James in the game. He had a very good game 1. The alley-oop from Mutombo in the game. McGrady with the rebound. Corkscrews up and puts it down. Tracy McGrady. Will's got 9.
Will not be denied. Just extra effort, wanted the ball more. This is that urgency we talked about, Kevin. Houston is playing as if the game is as important to them as it is Dallas. That was what Jeff Van Gundy was hoping for when we talked to him today. He said if Dallas wants it more, we will not win the game. We have to think about winning 2 games here if we want to win this series, because chances are Dallas is going to win 1 game in Houston.
Stackhouse picked up the foul. Rockets with their 13th free throw attempt coming up and nailed a perfect 13 of 13. You just saw the Dallas 6 of 7. Jeff Van Gundy has this team ready. They lead by 4. Half minute to play in the first quarter.
10-second differential. The Rockets should get it back.
James on Harris.
Got to force Stackhouse to his left. You can't let him go right.
He goes left. And he misses. Good call. Finley with the rebound. Mutombo defending. Alan Henderson in the game. He can't get it, and out of bounds, and off of Houston.
What got Houston in trouble the other day when they started giving up those multiple shot opportunities. Remember, Dallas had 19 offensive rebounds in game 1. Kevin, they've got to start converting, though. They only got 11 points off 19 offensive rebounds. That's very poor conversion rate.
Winding down the first quarter with Stackhouse. Make him go left, as you just said.
Push him to his left, going right. He's an altogether different player.
And missing at the buzzer. In a first quarter which saw the Rockets lead by 5, Dallas not have any lead. And Yao Ming was fabulous. Second quarter, Mike James, who played on that Piston championship team a season ago with Wesley, John Barry, Mutombo, and McGrady remains in the game. Here comes Wesley, slashing inside.
When he's making those kind of shots, normally he spots up and shoots jumpers or shoots that little mid-range shot. Very seldom you see him get all the way to the basket.
Rockets have their biggest lead. Here is Dirk Nowitzki, and he makes it. And he is out there with Marquise Daniels for the first time, Terry, Henderson, and Stackhouse. John Barry the other way. Wesley, the little mid-range jump shot won't go, and Terry's got the loose ball.
Like the Rockets have to be very careful with this tempo. This plays into the Mavericks' hands. I thought we would see Marquise Daniels tonight. He's too good a player to be on that bench. Let's see if he can put his imprint on this game.
He didn't play in game one.
Did not play at all.
Nowitzki with the miss, and Barry with the rebound. And now Dirk Nowitzki has started 2 of 7. He had a poor shooting game one when he was 5 of 19. Look at James to Mutombo. And Barry launching a 3.
Look how open. Nobody around. That's what dribble penetration does. And what's happening, the Mavericks are fronting McGrady, and Mike James sees that, and he's driving baseline. The whole defense collapses, and he just kicks the ball out. So when you see that fronting in the post, it makes that baseline drive wide open.
Houston just got their first bench points. Here comes Daniels. Rebound by Dirk Nowitzki.
It's 5 offensive rebounds now for the Mavericks, 11 points. So their offensive rebounding is keeping them close.
And there's a quick Dallas foul. And Jason Terry will pick that up. He's got his first. Dallas has some foul problems already to speak about. 3 on Van Horn, 2 on Dampier in the opening minutes of the game. So Dampier has been resting since then. Van Horn hasn't seen time since he picked up his 3rd. And so now they've got Alan Henderson in there. And they had a little bit of Sean Bradley toward the end of that first quarter to Dallas. McGrady's double.
And look who's wide open, right across the other side of the floor. That's back-to-back wide open threes. That skip pass is killing the Mavericks. They're double teaming in the post, and they're allowing the ball to come out, and one pass across the floor is picking them apart right now.
35-year-old John Barry with 2 quick threes, and the Rockets have their biggest lead of 8. Here comes Terry, picked up by James, intercepted by Mutombo.
See the indecision. Jason Terry is a scorer. Jumped in the air, left his feet. Who's guarding this man right now?
Wesley for 2, a Dallas rebound. Houston has gone on an 8-2 run to start this second quarter.
Avery Johnson's got to get his team settled down right now. They're a little bit disoriented offensively, and it's leading to defensive breakdowns.
Oh, Nowitzki with a little hitch, but puts it in on the drive and tries to manufacture something, and the foul will go on Mutombo.
You like to see Dirk do that when you're not shooting it well from the floor, only 2 of 7. Get inside. You're a great free throw shooter. He shot 13 free throws in game 1. This year, one of the big step-ups in his game, Kevin, he averaged over 9 free throws in the game. This season, which was the 5th most in the NBA. Last year, he averaged about 5. So he was a guy who took advantage of his size and his ability to put it on the floor, with the rules now being called with guys putting their hands on you on the perimeter.
And people were wondering how he would respond with no Steve Nash.
He had a great year, and we'll have to wait to see how the playoffs are going to be, because right now they're missing that leadership that Steve Nash brings at this time of the year. That's where Jason Terry's going to have to settle down and bring that to this team.
Nowitzki has scored all 7 points for Dallas in this quarter. Ryan Bowen is back in the game. Barry for 3. Again! John Barry has gone 3 of 3 above the arc and put the Rockets on top 45-37. Timeout, Dallas. Barry has come off the bench. He's in 3 consecutive 3-point shots for 9. Backey has scored Houston's last 9 points. James is in there. And right now, with under 9 to play in the first half, the Rockets lead it 45-37. High score Yao Ming with 17. Josh Howard for 3. He buries that. And Dallas, above the arc dog, has gone 3 of 4. Rockets have gone 4 of 7.
Dallas has got to get a mental toughness now defensively. They've got to dig in. Right now, the Rockets are in a great rhythm, getting wide open shots. Dallas has to disrupt that. They have to disrupt the timing, make them take some tougher shots.
Rockets are shooting 61% from the field for the game. Mike James, a 3. Rebound by Dampier, 52% shooting. Will carry the Mavs the other way.
That's a good defensive possession. Now you got to come down and get a score.
Nowitzki, he's the only Maverick in double figures with 12. Into Bowen. And Bowen picks up the foul. And that is the second on him.
Well, Ryan Bowen did a nice job until right at the end of that play. He continued and walked into Nowitzki actually after the play was over. You're playing a great player. The one thing you want to do is try not to foul him shooting jump shots. You don't want to give him those easy points. Contest a jump shot, get a hand up, make him make difficult shots.
So here's Dirk Nowitzki at the free throw line, and well-known story, his mom and dad were elite-level German athletes, one in handball, one in basketball. Tomorrow, it'll be the 76ers against the Detroit Pistons. It's at 7:30 Eastern Time on NBA TV. Detroit leads that series 1 game to none.
Kevin, I did an interview with Dirk before the All-Star game, and I was talking to him about his favorite player when he watched growing up. Who did he pattern his game up? Everybody thought it was Larry Bird. You know who it was? Scottie Pippen. He said, I watched the Chicago Bulls all those years with Michael Jordan, and I just loved the way Scottie Pippen played.
Daniels and Howard on the floor at the same time for Dallas. Terry's in the backcourt. Nowitzki's down low. Dampier is the center. McGrady, Bowen. Shot clock at 4. Dirk got a hand, I think, on that ball.
2 good defensive possessions in a row now by Dallas.
Dallas +8 in rebounding.
Jason Terry's trying to make plays that aren't there right now. Avery Johnson, I'm sure, is telling his point guard, because Avery was a consummate point guard when he ran that San Antonio attack. We see John Berry down on the floor, but Jason Terry is trying to force plays. And you know, Kevin, in big games, make the simple play. Don't try to force it when it's not there.
John Berry got hit in the nose by the floor.
Now look at that pass right there. Look at all that congestion. Even if he caught it, there was nothing he could do with that. See John Berry down on the floor.
Yeah, the knee of Mutombo caught him. I'm sorry. Whack.
And that's a bony knee right there from Mutombo.
There's not a lot of cartilage on that knee.
Not a whole lot of meat covering that knee right there. Dikembe's had a 10-year flashback, I'm telling you. The last 2 months of the season,
he's got blood coming out of his nose. Just barely able to check that.
But the last 2 months of the season, Dikembe actually has played at a higher level than Yao Ming. That's why tonight it's been so important for Yao Ming. But Mutombo has been coming off the bench and has really been playing their crunch time minutes.
And how about his presence in the locker room?
Oh yeah, he's a great pro. He's a fun-loving guy, and he's having a great time right now. But right now, John Berry's feeling the brunt of that knee. A little blood trickling out of his nose.
And he leads all scorers with 17. McGrady's got 10. Nowitzki leading Dallas with 14. Like James tapped that, which is
nice read. Nice read. He read the eyes of the tipper, and Dallas did not do a good job of blocking him off where he could get in that lane and steal that tip.
Rockets have led by 8. Mavericks have never led. McGrady to Yao over Nowitzki.
Well, he's got it locked on cruise control right now, and Tracy McGrady is just finding him on every occasion. I thought that the Mavericks had gotten back a little momentum. Let's see now if they can find their way on the offensive end.
Daniels with a nice weave. Knocked away by Yao Ming. Here comes John Berry.
Give it to your big man.
Dampier defending. Great pass by Yao to Berry inside, but they can't get the 2. Volleyballed around and finally vacuumed in. Uh-oh, there's a foul on Bowen. Inadvertent.
That's a smart play, though, on Josh Howard's part. He veered over into Ryan Bowen, who was coming down the floor, created the contact. There was nothing there. There's no reason for Josh Howard to get upset. He created this foul. Watch him. He dribbles over, and then you're going to get knocked down. So when you get knocked down, go to the free throw line and make your free throws. This is not a situation to get upset with. He drew the foul. Now just keep playing.
Bowen is an interesting guy, isn't he? I mean, yeah, he's a player that played in Turkey. He's played with Denver the last 5 years. He's from Fort Madison, Iowa, and he gets the surprise start in game 1 and starts again here tonight in game 2.
Yeah, said he couldn't sleep before the game. He was so nervous. But I tell you, after the game, you read all the clips from their teammates. They just loved the job he did in game 1. Gave himself up to play against Nowitzki and did a wonderful job.
Well, if you had to guard Nowitzki, you probably wouldn't be sleeping either.
That's right. Mine was usually George Gervin or somebody.
That's a foul. Looked like Wesley may have picked it up, much to his surprise. That's a second on him. Doug, when you have your 2 leaders like Yao and McGrady show the kind of urgency and energy they have shown early in this game, and you've said this all season long, that it does seep to the other players, and they certainly jump on board.
Well, early in the year, one of the knocks on the Rockets were that Yao Ming and Tracy didn't play with a lot of energy. A lot of games they came out, they were sluggish, and their team responded that kind of way. We see Dampier knocking the free throw. That has not been the case. We see Ryan Bourne going back to the locker room with athletic trainer Keith Jones, so it looks like he's limping a little bit. We'll have to get the report on that. But your stars set the tempo for your team. That's just the way it is. But I think the addition of Mike James and John Barry and David Wesley changed the personality of this team. It really helped T-Mac and Yao Ming.
Well, they've got 7 players with 10 years of experience or more on Houston, and it is, and as Doug just said, a very positive effect. 19 for Yao and across the lane. No foul. Daniels, Terry, and Nowitzki. Well, look, he's got 2 small guys on him. And here he's got the mismatch with Barry defending. Rebound by McGrady.
Settle for that jump shot. You had the smaller player. Create a better one.
That's a 3 by James. And a rebound lassoed by Dampier.
Dallas's defense a little bit better right now. They just got to start converting on the offensive end.
3 ties, no lead changes in this game.
McGrady now guarding Nowitzki. There's an offensive foul on Dampier.
He's got 3.
Jason Terry went too quickly before Dampier set the screen. Kevin, you and I did the game yesterday, San Antonio, Denver. I thought Denver won that game when they're finished in the second quarter. They were down 9. They had the spectacular finish, got it to tie it at half, were able to win the game. It's not always a fourth quarter game. You have surges at different times. It's important right now for Dallas to hang tough.
McGrady is fouled shooting a 3. And Howard got him. That is the second on Howard. McGrady's got 10. Game high 21 by Yao. 15 for Dirk Nowitzki. David, what do you have? I'm sorry, excuse me. David, hold on. I'm giving you the Heisman. We're going to go back to our TNT studios and check in with Ernie Johnson. Ernie?
That's all right, Kevin. The same mistake is made all the time between me and DA. Coming up at halftime, we're going to have the breakdown of the first half from Charles and Kenny and Magic, and also highlights of the Pacers and Celtics. A great night for the guy that Doug calls the professional, Reggie Miller. You'll hear from him. Now, back to you, Kev.
Thank you, EJ. 3.5 to play in the half. T-Mac getting his first point in this quarter. We've had 4 ties, no lead changes. Rockets have led by as many as 8. Here comes Dallas shooting 51%. And inside Josh Howard.
Well, you can see what's happened. Josh Howard is just isolating against Yao Ming. They're trying to take advantage of that matchup. So if that's the case now on the other end, Houston has got to go inside the Yao Ming, who's being guarded by Nowitzki.
Rockets shooting 51%.
A little up-court trap, just trying to disrupt the rhythm.
McGrady. James. Picked up by Terry. And fouled by Jason Terry. This is the second playoff game in the career of 6-year veteran Jason Terry. Doug, he had 4 turnovers in game 1. And tonight, he's got 4 turnovers as well. Are these just playoff jitters, or what's your read on Terry's performance?
Well, he's learning to run a team in the crucible of the playoffs. This is exactly what's happening. You know, in the regular season, there's a certain level and tempo that you play at. And he's now growing into an area he's never been in before. He's a terrific young player. He's had a great year. And he's just got to continue to get better every game. But the big thing is, don't force plays. That's when you get yourself in trouble. Take the open shot. Don't force passes in traffic.
Dallas shooting 53%. Rockets 51.
Here again, Josh Howard going one-on-one against Yao Ming.
And scores. He's put in all 11 of his points in the second quarter for the Dallas Mavericks.
Nelly ball right here, going small.
Mike James. And now Dallas can take their first lead. Terry. Nowitzki. For the lead over Yao. And Yao Ming has the rebound, clutching on to his 5th of the game. Yao with the screen. McGrady, wide open Wesley for 3. And here comes Jason Terry with about 45 to play in the first half.
I'll go back to Josh Howard right now. Yao Ming is very, very tired. Give him an isolation on the weak side. Let him penetrate.
2-on-1. Wesley.
Oh, that might be a flagrant.
Foul on Terry. You better believe it is. It is a flagrant foul.
See, again, there's inexperience. You can't go to a guy's head. I mean, you got to go up and challenge the shot. But this is going to be a very penal situation. It's going to be 2 shots in the ball. This could be a 4-point play. Watch this. You go to the head. That's a foul. Anytime you go to the head above the shoulders like that with that kind of contact, in the playoffs especially, it's going to be a foul. So these are the kind of plays, 4-point swings, that hurt your team.
Houston a perfect 17 of 17 from the free throw line. There's their first miss tonight. Dallas 11 of 15 from the stripe. And we saw this last night in San Antonio, a physical game between the Nuggets and the Spurs. And Wesley again here. Physical game tonight so far between the Rockets and Dallas, but this comes as no surprise this time of year.
Absolutely not. I mean, you know that the stakes are so high. The guys are rested. They have days off between games. There's preparation. The more you see a guy, the more you're going to get upset. So about the 3rd or 4th game you've seen somebody, you're so irritated. It does not take much to get you riled up. It's like, you know, I do a lot of playoff games together.
There's a foul. And McGrady picks up his 3rd foul.
See, that's a big play. Number 1, it's the 3rd foul on McGrady. And number 2, you have a chance to get 4 points on that play, the flagrant, and you only get 1.
Bobby Sura is going to come in, replacing T-Mac, who Doug has played every minute so far of this game. Until now.
Scott Padgett checking in for the first time.
Padgett will check in for James, so they go with 2 substitutions on this play.
Where was the foul on McGrady?
That was on Barry.
That should have been on Barry. Who's that? I have to check that foul and see who they called it on. I guess they called the push-off on McGrady before Barry fell.
Must have. Here's Howard. Nowitzki with the reverse. And picked up by Padgett. Rockets still nursing a 1-point lead in what has been a thrilling first half in Big D tonight.
This is going to be some series.
Wesley to Yao.
How about that quickness?
And he's got a playoff career high of 23 points.
How about that quickness?
Josh Howard. Pickpocketed by Sura.
Just a careless play right now. Jeff Van Gundy's so upset. Those are the kind of plays. Bobby Sura, just a careless, lazy pass back to John Barry. Houston's had an opportunity here. They had a flagrant foul where they only got 1 of 4 points. They had a chance here after the steal possibly to get a basket, maybe at a 2-for-1 possession.
-3 in that category.
And points off offensive rebound, 16 for the Mavericks. That's what's keeping them in this ball game.
Clarence Weatherspoon makes his first playoff appearance in this series tonight. He's working on Nowitzki. Now, the reason why Bowen was playing and not Weatherspoon to begin things, Weatherspoon has been a starter when healthy, is because Bowen is quicker. Weatherspoon picks up his first.
Now, you know, you saw David Aldridge a while ago interviewing Juwan Howard. Juwan Howard has been a big part of this team, but he does not guard Dirk Nowitzki very well either. You see Juwan, Nowitzki had 54 points against them early in the year with Juwan playing. Juwan, where they miss him, making the open shots. Nowitzki missed the free, making the open shots on that 15 to 17 footer, his defensive rebounding, his professionalism. But in this series, he would have struggled with Nowitzki as well.
Daniels is in for Howard for Dallas. That is a change with 29.5 seconds to play in the second quarter. Looks like Alan Henderson is getting off the Dallas bench as well. Bowen had a twisted knee. They've wrapped it up. We expect him to play later in this game tonight with Dirk at the free throw line for Dallas.
See, if you're Jeff Van Gundy right now, you've got to resist the urge to bring Tracy McGrady in for this last possession, because you cannot have him pick up an offensive foul and get his 4th. So what you got to hope here is Nowitzki, if he makes his free throw, it's a 2-point game. You come down, use clock, and at worst go in up 2.
Nowitzki's got 16, but 11 have come in this second quarter. On a timeout for Houston. People thought maybe it traveled. What did you think?
Well, he traveled, but, but he was calling timeout.
And right now, Rockets have led the entire way, except for a couple of ties. Have a 2-point lead, and they'll inbound the ball.
I would expect Jeff Van Gundy to get something going inside to Yao Ming. He's got very good three-point shooting on the floor, so if there's any double teams, Padgett, Wesley, Sura, Berry, all good three-point shooters.
Yao, Padgett, lost it. It was tipped. It is not an over and back. Shot clock is at 10. Sura, nice fake. Wesley over Daniels. Tipped by Padgett. What a play by Little U, Scott Padgett out of Kentucky. That was beautiful, and it's a 4-point. That's a 4-point Rocket lead.
These are the kind of little plays going into halftime that give you a nice lift. The 4-point lead, Kevin, you talked about. For the Rockets now, the last thing you want to do is foul a guy shooting a three-point shot.
And this should end the half with Finley just coming up short.
How offensive-minded Tracy McGrady is here in the second half. Only 6 field goal attempts, took 27 shots in game 1. Look for him to get more shots at the basket this half.
This is game 2, the best of 7 first-round Western Conference playoff series. In the regular season, they met 4 times. Rockets 1-2, Dallas 1-2, Wesley. And a rebound by Dampier.
Dampier has got to give him something here in the second half other than just fouls. He's got to make his presence felt down in the paint. That's why they traded for him, to get a big man.
Dirk Nowitzki. Out of bounds, looks to be off of Houston. And T-Mac.
Again, second chance opportunities. They did not come up with a rebound cleanly. It'll be a new 24 seconds. You cannot give teams multiple opportunities at the basket.
Sura is on Terry. Bowen denies the pass into Nowitzki, but it's picked up by Dampier, and the shot clock is at 11. Bowen guarding Terry. Big shot by Terry.
It's only his second attempt of the game. He's 2 of 2. He's really working hard to try to run his team.
The high scorer with 23 points is Yao, who sets a screen. And McGrady launching with the miss, and he is now 7 of 8, 12 points. Former ACC Player of the Year, Josh Howard. Jason Terry scoops it off to Dampier.
Nice play that time by Jason Terry, getting in the lane. They're going to get Dampier fired up. You heard the guys in the studio talking about, he said he's the best center in the West. Well, he's got to start playing like that.
Dallas has their first lead since early in the first quarter of game 1 when they led 12-10. It's obviously the first lead tonight. There's a foul by Finley.
Well, Jason Terry hits a 3, gets in the lane, creates a dunk for Dampier, so he's had his hand in all 5 points here to start this half. Houston is known to go through droughts offensively now. We'll have to see if they can find some points. It looks like McGrady's got an easy 2 here.
With a great play. And that's his first field goal since 34 seconds left in the first quarter. Michael Finley. That is off of Dallas.
Set play on the baseline, and I said an easy score here. Well, it was easy for him. You know, he made it look easy.
I think in your early days that would have been a Doug Collin-esque type play.
Did a jackknife 180, laid it off the glass with his left hand.
McGrady to Yao Ming with 25. That is a playoff career high.
They're killing him on that play. A little high screen roll. The weak side rotation is not getting there. Dirk Nowitzki's getting behind Yao Ming, and he's too small. He's got to get in front of him on that roll to the basket.
I don't think I've seen Yao play this well.
I agree with you. It's the best game I've seen him play.
Howard, T-Mac knocked it away. Wesley and Nowitzki deflected that pass, and down it goes, and Wesley picks up a foul for the Houston Rockets. Number 3 on him. McGrady's got 3. No one on the Rockets with 4, and no one on Dallas with 4.
A great opportunity there, nice knock away, but David Wesley, not a guy, great passer on the break. Normally he's the guy who's the receiver and either spotting up and making the shot or getting the basket, not a guy who's going to create a play for someone else.
Dallas is shooting 48%. Great pass, Nowitzki to Dampier. Here comes Houston, 50% from the floor. They've put it up 42 times, they made 21.
I like the fact that Dampier now is involved. He's got 2 dunks in at the basket area here to start this period. Now he's got to get busy on the defensive end. There's that play once again.
Into Yao, this time from Wesley. And Yao again scoring at will, 10 of 11 with 27.
I don't know what they're doing on that screen roll, but Yao Ming's catching the ball about 1 foot away from the basket at 7'5". They will not defend him down there.
Jason Terry over Yao and tapped in by Dampier. And Dougie mentioned it just seconds ago, but Dampier, when he is involved, Dallas is a different team.
That's what they got him for, to get some points in the paint. Everything can't be at the perimeter. You can't win on jump shots. You've got to get something in that lane.
It's Wesley working on Howard, rejected by Josh Howard.
Boy, this kid is some kind of athlete. I watched him at Wake Forest in the ACC, MVP that year. And you see him with a long arms here. I don't know how he dropped to the last pick in the first round. I loved him in college.
Rockets have led by 8. Mavericks have led by as many as 1.
Yao Ming is deep in the post here again. If they throw in the ball, it's going to be another easy score.
24-second shot clock violation, the first tonight.
Now that's the kind of defensive intensity you have to have. Make them make 2 or 3 plays, the double team, the rotation. This crowd wants so desperately to get excited. Interesting enough, Kevin, Dallas's record 29-12 at home, 29-12 on the road. So they have played equally well on the road, but last year they were 36-5 here. They had the best record in the NBA at home.
Finley rotating to Terry for 3. And now Jason Terry is picked up. And he's got 11 points. And the Dallas Mavericks have their biggest lead tonight, albeit 2 points for them. It seems like a ton.
They're creating opportunities, which leads to their offense, and that's what they have to do. And you see they're a much improved team. Last season, what their numbers were this year, much better. Opponents' points, opponents' field goal percentage, opponents' threes, steals. They're starting to get some energy, and it's picking up the level of their offense, just like this. Here's a steal right here, right on cue. That's what you have to do at home, get the crowd involved.
And Nowitzki against Bowen. Sura with the rebound. Houston is -9 in rebounding in this game. Leading scorer with 27 is Yao. 16 for Nowitzki for Dallas. That was kicked, ricocheted off someone's foot.
You see, it's a deflection. Now all of a sudden you disrupt the play, 11 seconds on the clock. Now you got to run an inline out of bounds play and get into something quickly. But the numbers right now, third quarter for Dallas, +6 points, but the offensive rebounds, second chance points, starting to take its toll, those second chance points.
Tracy McGrady, and he's got 16, 5 of 9, with 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Leading rebounder with 6 is Jason Terry, who's got the ball right now, the point guard for Dallas.
Indecision on this play. Josh Howard's not sure where to be.
Dampier.
Clock is winding down here.
Yeah, it's down to 3. Finley for 3.
They were lucky on that possession. That was a disjointed play. But they went inside, got the double team, and kicked it out. So Dampier does not get the basket, but he creates the 3-point opportunity.
Dallas 7 of 9 shooting threes. Houston 4 of 10. McGrady over Finley. And Bowen with the save, and Sura will reload on offense.
See McGrady getting much more aggressive, looking to take his shot.
Ming drawing the double, freeing up Wesley. Rebound by Josh Howard. Dampier picked up by Yao. Out of bounds. Off of Houston.
I think they might change this. I think Greg Willard pointed in the wrong direction. I think he's going to give the ball back to Houston.
This is the second ever meeting in the playoff with these two Texas teams, Dallas and Houston. Last time they met, 1988. This is game 2. Game 1, Houston won it 98-86.
How much better Dampier's playing in this period. He's got a couple dunks. You see he's got a little bounce in his step. Look how they're chasing now the Rockets out of their play. Nowitzki's doubling off of Bowen to try to disrupt the play. It's now 9 seconds on the clock, and they have not gotten into the play yet.
Sura.
Look at the shot they're going to get here.
Not a good one, Wesley, with the shot clock at 1 second. It's Finley right there. Looks like Dallas might be trapping more in the second.
Well, what they're doing is they're running Nowitzki off Bowen, knowing he's not an offensive threat and disrupting the timing of their plays.
Josh Howard met by Wesley. Nowitzki has missed his last 6 shots, and you see the rebounding story alone in this third quarter. Now the shot clock here is down to 3 for Jason Terry. Tipped up and in. It was either Howard or Dampier. But someone with a headband.
If Dallas wins this game, it's going to be on their offensive rebounding and their second chance points. Right now, Houston is not able to corral a defensive rebound.
That's Sura for 3, and a big one it is for the Houston Rockets. They gave that previous Dallas tip-in to Howard. With the Mavericks by 2 and under 5 to play in the third.
Well, we set for a great finish.
Nowitzki's got 16. Howard's got 13. Good fake on Bowen. And the collision. And the foul on Bowen.
You're seeing that call a lot more this year. The referees got together in the offseason. That's the 4th foul on Bowen, but there was a lot of conversation that the defense was getting all the calls in situations like this. You've seen more of those calls now go to the offensive player than in the past. They felt like that they were giving calls to the defensive player when he wasn't in great position. And that's another reason why you're seeing a lot more free throws attempted this year.
Here is the first player to be drafted at Wake Forest since Tim Duncan. On his second year in the NBA, Josh Howard, 73% free throw shooter, as Keith Van Horn lugged around 3 early fouls, taking the place of Dirk Nowitzki, 16 points. Dirk 4 of 15 from the floor tonight.
Now watch after they make this free throw, Kevin. They're going to stay up the floor, and they're going to continue to try to trap and pressure. They're going to keep the defense up. They're going to try to disrupt the timing, not let the Rockets walk the ball down the floor and get into their offense. Look at Van Horn. He's looking to trap off of Bowen whenever he gets a chance now instead of Nowitzki.
It's McGrady with the shot clock at 6 and a double team on him. Ryan Bowen. A good shot there by Bowen, who's a 42% shooter.
See, he's going to make enough of those to where he puts some indecision in the mind of Dallas. But in any kind of situation, you got to make McGrady pass the ball to Bowen. You can't let him take those shots.
We've had 3 lead changes and 6 ties in this game. Nice fake by Terry.
He's settled down, playing a much better third quarter.
He's played well. Dampier has played better. Terry's got 8 points in the third quarter. Dampier's got 6 points in the third quarter for Dallas. A
very aggressive trap. Ryan Bowen cannot run away from the basketball. He's got to make himself available, even if it's just to be a passer.
Wesley to Sura. A 3 over Terry. A rebound by Dampier. That's his 4th of this quarter. Yao is winded. Van Horn works on Bowen. Inside! And those are the first Dallas Maverick bench points since late in the first quarter.
Keep your eye on Van Horn. See, they're running a trap here at half court. That's a bad foul on Josh Howard. Don't want to commit that foul. You like the aggressiveness. But right now, the Rockets have got to be prepared to get into passing areas because, in essence, they're playing against a little bit of a 2-man trap. That means you're playing 4 on 3, so you got to get to open areas.
Now, last night we saw Andre Miller picking up with Carmelo Anthony having an off first half. You, of course, think of Anthony all the time. You think of Denver Nuggets success. Now with Nowitzki off tonight, Dallas is getting some nice performances in this quarter, in their comeback from Dampier and Jason Terry.
Now what's happened is Padgett's in the game because he's a better shooter. So if we're going to trap now, he'll get the shots. There's Yao Ming on the finish as McGrady goes hard to the basket. But Padgett's got to be ready to shoot the ball.
Yao has got a game-high 29 points. Howard against Wesley. And Yao is there. And off of Houston with 2:45 to play in the third.
I didn't do a good job. The team did. We got to be better.
Nowitzki still on the bench. Jerry Stackhouse launching. Yao climbing, and a foul on Houston inside. So Dirk Nowitzki, who has not been a factor tonight, although he has taken 10 free throws, is out. And for the series, Dirk is 9 of 34. We're talking about the 4th leading scorer in the NBA as the foul went on Padgett for the first time. The lineups now, Dallas with Van Horn, Terry, Dampier, Howard, and the inbound will come from Stackhouse.
Well, one of the risks you run when you go to a small lineup is you're rebounding. And that's exactly what's happened. Small lineup, and the Rockets aren't rebounding the basketball.
Rockets with Padgett, Berry, and Yao, McGrady, and Surratt. That was a good-looking shot. Put up and in by Van Horn.
Here's Van Horn now. He's going to help. Padgett's going to be open. He's going to look to take the shot.
Padgett can hit the three.
And that's why they got to be a little bit more careful running off him than Bowen.
Rockets down by their largest deficit of 5. Padgett floating inside. It's picked up by Howard. He'll slash inside. Slammed in by Dampier. And the Dallas Mavericks have their biggest lead tonight with an 8-point third quarter authored by Eric Dampier. McGrady for 3. Oh. Wow.
Got to get up on that screen, though, Eric Dampier. When Yao Ming sets that screen, you've got to get up and chase McGrady off that shot. You've got to make him a passer.
Dallas shooting 51%. Rockets shooting 49% for the game.
Big minute 30 here for Dallas. They've gotten the lead. They don't want to cough it up going into the 4th.
Howard for 3 over T-Mac. Dallas has gone 8 of 10 above the arc tonight.
That'll get it done. You shoot like that, it's tough to lose at home, especially.
Rockets 6 of 14 shooting the 3. There's a quick Dallas foul. Goes on Stackhouse. And Stack picks up his 3rd.
Isn't it amazing when a big man gets a couple dunks to start a quarter, how effective he becomes? You see Eric Dampier, I think that's his 3rd dunk of the quarter. Josh Howard has stepped out. He's knocked down some shots. Jason Terry's had a very good third quarter. So your Avery Johnson, your point guard settled down. You've got some production out of your big guy. You got to feel a whole lot better. But look at the second chance points tonight.
Very big. Dampier, the self-proclaimed second-best center in the NBA, and back is Shaq, playing like it this third. McGrady with the left hand, knifing his way for 2.
Now he's got to get out on that screen. I mean, there's a big screen in the backcourt against Mike James by Dampier, but you've got to get out that big guy and corral McGrady off that high screen roll, because that's all you're going to see right now from the Rockets.
And James picks up a foul. Doug, rebounding in this game now has certainly become a story, because Dallas is plus 14 in that category. In Game 1, they were plus 5.
What did Jeff Van Gundy say to us today at the hotel? He said, if we don't defensive rebound, we won't win. Well, 25-6, second chance points. That's minus 19 in a 5-point game.
No fouls to give either way. Yao knocks it away. On the drive by Terry, a 3-on-2. McGrady, John Berry puts in a 2-pointer.
Great possession there, 2 for 1. Now 7-second differential, so the Rockets should get the ball back with a chance to possibly tie.
Mavs have led by 7. Rockets' big lead has been 8 tonight. Van Horn into Yao, and a foul called for 2. Yao Ming picks up the foul. That'll be his 3rd. And Van Horn, who is lugging around some early foul problems, has 6 in this quarter.
Well, Yao Ming got out to try to stop that play, and then he tries to get back, and he's just not quick enough to get there. His effort was good, just not quick enough, about 1 step slow. And this season, when he's gotten himself in foul trouble, Kevin, it's usually those kind of plays where he's 1 step away from getting into the right spot.
Van Horn puts it in, completes the 3-point play. Bradley has taken the place of Dampier. Isn't it funny when you think of Dallas, you think of Finley and Nowitzki, and tonight neither having an effect on this game?
That's true, but Van Horn off the bench has played exceptionally well now. He's got back in the sync after the early foul trouble.
Mike James trying to carve his way for two with just under 2 seconds to play in the half. And a fourth foul called on Van Horn.
This is one of the things about Dallas, though. They talked about their depth, Kevin. We talked about their bench averaging about 34 points a game over the last 23 games. Van Horn has always been a big scorer. Jerry Stackhouse has been a big scorer. So they have the capabilities. But winning this game tonight will be done on the defensive end, especially they're going to have to defend that high screen roll with Yao Ming and McGrady in the fourth quarter.
James, with the free throw attempts coming up tomorrow on TNT. The Nets against Shaq in the Heat, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Miami up 1 game to none. Kings and Sonics from Seattle. Sonics lead that series 1 game to none. Both games on TNT, your home for the NBA playoffs. Another free throw is down. Stackhouse trying to beat the buzzer and way off. But what a third quarter. Brady is really intense.
Yeah, he was upset because they weren't running the play that was called. The play was called right there was for him to get an open jump shot. So he put his personality and said, look, run the play that Jeff Van Gundy called. That's leadership.
So T-Mac has 23, game high 29 from Yao, only 16 from Nowitzki, and Finley's got 10.
Watch the Van Horn matchup now with Mutombo. Van Horn's going to try to take him out on the floor off the dribble.
Devin Harris, Jerry Stackhouse for 3.
Well, the benches come through now. Van Horn is playing well. Jerry Stackhouse.
Houston led by 4 at halftime. Dallas leads by 4 coming into this fourth quarter. Right now, it is a 91-86 Dallas 5-point lead.
You got to lock in now on Tracy McGrady. He's going to take every shot here. If you're Dallas, you've got to know where he is at all times.
He's coming off a 34-point Game 1 performance is T-Mac. Harris for 3. Dallas has been unbelievable above the three-point arc tonight. Down 10 of 14 for the Mavericks, popping the long-distance 3.
Well, shooting is contagious, be it bad or good. In Game 1, it was bad. Tonight, it is good.
James, John Barry looking for Mutombo, and Van Horn was whacked in the face.
Guess who? You think that long elbow of Mutombo just happened to get out there in the way, but it's going to be interesting to see Jeff Van Gundy here. What happens here is, right there is Mutombo, right in the jaw.
These two teams split their 4 games in the regular season.
But how long will Yao Ming be on the bench? Again, watch the matchup of Van Horn stepping out on the floor.
There's a turnover and a 3-on-2 orchestrated by Barry into T-Mac and poked out of bounds by Stackhouse, who is one tough customer. Now let's see how T-Mac absorbed that. That's the 4th on Stackhouse coming off the bench as McGrady tries to collect himself with the help of some generous fans on that baseline.
That's a playoff foul. Now you watch Jerry Stackhouse. He goes up here hard to block the shot. He goes for the shot block. Now he does get him hard with the body. No intent there to go at the head or try to hurt him. That's a good foul. It was the finish there that Tracy McGrady had no place to go, that he had to run into the crowd. So the important thing down with McGrady is to gather himself, get to the line, and make a couple free throws.
And remember earlier in the game, David Aldridge was telling us about McGrady's back, which has been a constant source of frustration for him over the majority of his career.
Remember, you heard our studio, you heard Magic and Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley talking about when Tracy McGrady went in and dunked that ball over Sean Bradley early. He said he had to taste some wood. He has to go down on those kind of plays. He has to think that when he goes to the basket, it's not a free run. Now, you're not trying to hurt anybody. I don't want anybody to ever get that feeling that I think that somebody's going to get hurt. That's not the case. But when somebody goes to the basket, those plays have to be challenged, so you know that there's resistance at the basket.
4 times this season, McGrady won Player of the Week honors in the NBA. There's a big offensive rebound from Bowen. Here comes McGrady working on Stackhouse with revenge on his mind, and he dumps it off to Bowen. McGrady again, and Stackhouse right there. Oh, he lasers it inside. Bowen is shoved. What a pass by McGrady. And Bowen will go to the free throw line, and the foul goes on Nowitzki for the first time.
See what happens, though, you double off of Bowen with Nowitzki. So what does Bowen do? He drives right to the basket and gets into the open area. Got to finish that shot, though. It's playoff time. You got to make that layup. It's got to be a three-point play. Concentration and focus now, most important.
Bowen, a starter again tonight, missing number 1. Check out NBA TV for highlights, breaking news, press conferences, and behind-the-scenes action during the entire postseason. NBA TV, your home for complete playoff coverage. With Doug Collins and David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan in Dallas. Second of 2 is in by Bowen. It is a 6-point game with just over 9 minutes to play in the 4th. Devin Harris, Keith Van Horn, fouled by Mutombo.
That's the matchup I'm talking about. Van Horn at 6'10", can step out on the floor. He can shoot the ball. So they're going to screen roll now. He's rolling out, and Mutombo cannot get back to him. There's no shot blocking on the weak side, so look for Dallas to continue to go to that play. Van Horn being very aggressive right now. I thought he was tentative in game 1, passed up some shots. He's assertive. Tonight he got himself in quick foul trouble, but has come right back in the game and been a factor.
He hits it. We're in Dallas, Texas, the capacity-filled American Airlines Center. This is game 2. Game 1 was won by Houston by 12. This game, the Rockets have led by 8. The Mavericks have led by 8. High-scoring 29 points from Yao Ming of Houston.
This is the kind of pace of the game, though, that favors the Dallas Mavericks. The game up into the hundreds, it's their kind of game.
And McGrady, who's got 24.
Really making him work, though. He had 2 guys guarding him to bring the ball up the floor. All of a sudden, the shot clock is down to 10 before they get into their play.
That's a good point. Here comes McGrady into Dikembe Mutombo and fouled by Van Horn, and he picks up number 5. Well, Dallas, one of the top offensive teams in the NBA, 3rd in points, number 8 shooting team in the league in the regular season, showing some of that in the transition from game 1 to tonight's game 2.
Well, this is what you expected. They've relaxed, especially coming out of that 3rd quarter. I thought Jason Terry and Dampier did a wonderful job. Van Horn off the bench. Those guys had 23 of the 32 points in the 3rd quarter. But look at the shooting, 52%, 71% from the 3-point line. They have 14 points in the paint. And in the second half, Dirk and Michael Finley have only combined for 3 points, so they've done this without their 2 stars. But that bench has been effective, and they've done some nice defensive things here. Jeff Van Gundy talked to his team. I saw him talking to Ryan Bowen when he came off the floor. He said, they're trapping off you. You've got to make yourself available in the middle of the floor to catch it and move the basketball. They're running at Tracy McGrady all over the basketball court, and they're trying to wear him down. So Ryan Bowen has got to get to the basketball and be a passer.
Tempo this season, 74% from the free throw line. 29 points for Yao Ming, still on the Rocket bench. And as soon as those words come out, he gets off the bench. He'll check in the next stoppage of play. Devin Harris, a screen from Dampier. The mismatch on Mutombo. Dirk Nowitzki continuing to struggle. 4 of 16 tonight.
Well, you just rarely see him have 2 bad shooting games in a row.
He's missed his last 7. Mike James. Nice off the glass.
Dallas cannot relax. They had a nice run. It's a 4-point game now. Still plenty of time. They're going to have to continue to score points. That's how they got themselves the lead. Their offensive efficiency went right through the roof.
Plus, Dallas has gone 10 of 14, knocking down the 3 ball tonight. Houston has hit 6 above the arc. It's Stackhouse against McGrady. This has been a nice second half matchup. Nice defense by McGrady. Sean Berry flying the other way. Meets Stackhouse here. Now they've got Finley on McGrady. Berry for 3. Good! He's knocked down 4 tonight.
He looks over at us like, did you see that? Yes, John, we did. More importantly, the Mavericks fans saw it. That lead has dwindled. It's down to 1. 35 in the first 2 games. He's got to keep shooting. The Mavericks have to keep scoring. There cannot be any hesitation right now. Rockets are going for an insurmountable 2-0 lead here, both games on the road. This is huge here for Nowitzki to get going.
He is 4 of 17. And Nowitzki has not had a field goal since midway through the 2nd quarter. It's McGrady and an open Ryan Bowen. Rebound by Jason Terry, approaching 7 minutes to play. The no-look to Nowitzki.
Got to keep shooting. Shooters, shoot. You got to shoot the basketball. Right now, he's got to think he's hot. Hit his last shot. I played with a guy, World B. Free, who could miss 10 in a row. And the 11th one, if he made it, he knew he was hot. And that's what you have to have, that kind of mentality.
Thought Yao was going to come in before the break. He is certainly going to come in next dead ball. And fouls on Dallas. They gave a Mutombo sandwich. Howard picks up his fourth.
High screen roll is what you're going to see a lot of. They're going to get Dampier involved. A little push. Yao Ming back in the game, just a short little rest. You wonder why Mutombo's not playing a lot tonight. It's because Yao Ming is having a great game. And that's what you do when you have a player playing well, you'll let him play.
Dallas has 14 fouls. Dallas is plus 10 in rebounding in this game.
Dallas showing a little zone on this possession.
Brady and Yao. Barry, Wilkes, James. Here's a Barry three. It's no good. James out there along with Bowen. That's the Houston five. Dampier, Howard, Nowitzki, Finley. There's Dampier getting the entry pass, and Bowen got in the way and draws the foul for Dallas. Jason Terry is the fifth Maverick. No, just out of bounds. I guess it is not a foul, which the crowd, you can hear, does not agree with, and just out of bounds.
Dirk Nowitzki, I can't stress it enough, Kevin. He is their guy. He, Michael Finley, they have to stay aggressive and continue to look for their shots.
Nowitzki's got a Dallas high 18, game high 29 by Yao. McGrady's got 24. Finley. And the shot clock is at 6 for Nowitzki for 2. Big shot. You called it.
Cannot worry about your percentage now. This is about willing yourself and your team to win this game, to even this series.
We've had 7 ties and 3 lead changes. Each team is led by as many as 8. And there's a Houston foul. This goes on Yao Ming, setting a screen away from the ball.
Look at Dirk Nowitzki. I want the ball. Remember, he made his last shot. Can't wait to get the ball back in his hands. That's what great players do. Go back to him again.
Yao Ming just picked up his 4th personal foul. Nowitzki, this time into Dampier. With no call as he crushes Barry. And Dampier and Nowitzki lead a 6-0 Dallas run. Dampier's got 13 points. Nowitzki leads the Mavs with 20. So the Rockets had a 7-0 lead to cut it to a 1-point game. Mavericks on a 6-0 run that extends their lead to 7 with 5.5 to play. And this is Mike James.
Look at again, Nowitzki just running all over the floor, not even guarding Ryan Bowen. Ryan Bowen cannot hide.
McGrady is 8 of 15 with 24. Shot clock is down to 5. Now Nowitzki on McGrady.
Come on.
What a shot by Tracy McGrady. He's got 26.
Well, I said Nowitzki's the best player on the floor for his team. McGrady's the best player for the Rockets. We're going to see which superstar can get their team home. It'll be the Rockets with a 2-0 lead. We're going to have a split. There's that slip play again.
And Barry again draws a foul as he was defending by himself a much bigger Dampier.
Jeff Van Gundy's going to have to take a look at what he's doing defensively on this play, because Dampier slipping to the basket, and with 3 smalls out on the floor for the Rockets, no one can get over and cover him.
Here is Eric Dampier at the free throw line, a 60% free throw shooter.
You see Yao Ming over talking to Jeff Van Gundy like, do you want me to continue to step out there like that, because they're really hurting us on this play. And you know what the rule of thumb, Kevin, is? Keep running the play until the other team stops it. Don't go away from it. They haven't stopped it.
NBA TV tomorrow night gives you the Sixers and Pistons game 2. Detroit leads that series 1-0. And it's at 7:30 Eastern time tomorrow night on NBA TV. It's Dampier again at the line. Yao with the rebound, and he has collected 8 with his 29 points. The game high 29.
Now McGrady's going to go to Nowitzki. Bowen's out of the game. They put a better offensive player in the game, Sura, so they can't run off of McGrady or run off of Bowen.
And Berry, who's hit 4 threes, decides to penetrate and go right around Dirk Nowitzki. 4-point game. Josh Howard, the reverse. And his own miss. Intercepted by Mike James. He's got a trailer in Sura, but he takes it himself. And just like that, the Rockets to within 2.
They will not go away. Remember Rudy T, when he was coaching the Rockets, he said, we have the heart of a champion. We'll see what's in this Rocket team. Can they find a way to steal another game on the road?
McGrady on Nowitzki. And a foul on T-Mac with a little bump and a shot. And number 4. And McGrady is limping.
Well, a great rebound by Josh Howard, and he just panicked. He got a new 24-second. There's no need to make that play. And Mike James, he had the big jump shot in game 1. As Dallas had cut the lead to 75-71, Mike James hit 3 straight baskets to push that lead back out. We'll have to keep our eye on T-Mac. He's had an assortment of leg injuries this year, some tendonitis in his knee, a twisted ankle. Looks like he's holding that right ankle.
Dirk Nowitzki, the only player this past season in the regular year on the top 10 in points and top 10 in rebounds.
Let's watch his right ankle to see maybe where we can see. Well, right there, it looks like he just tweaked it, rolled it over just a little bit. That's one of those that hurts for a little bit. It'll be sore tomorrow, but he'll be fine.
Dirk, an 87% free throw shooter.
Well, I really like what Dirk has done here in the last few minutes. What great players do. McGrady's doing the same thing for his team. In your words, Kevin, buckle up. We got a great finish.
Just under 4 to play in regulation.
Zone defense by the Mavericks. Searle wide open for 3.
That's number 8 above the arc tonight for the Rockets. 10 makes by the Mavericks above the arc.
That's why Jeff Van Gundy put him in the game, because you need another offensive player out there so they can't double McGrady.
Terry slipping by one defender and coming inside. Dampier had it and lost it. They'll probably call the jump.
Well, I hope not a timeout. I don't like that play when you got guys scrambling for the ball on the floor, no clear possession. The guy calls a timeout, he gets it. This is going to be a jump ball. I like that. I don't think referees like to call jump balls because they don't toss the ball up very well. It's a tough thing to do. Really, they don't work on that because you don't have about 1 or 2 during the course of the game.
Tonight we were talking about Dallas point guards. You know, no Steve Nash, and they've had Terry taking the ball. He's got 6 assists, 4 turnovers, and 13 points. Much better point guard play tonight for the Dallas Points.
Yeah, he had 17 points in game 1, but he was skittish with the ball and didn't get his team into anything. I thought in the 3rd quarter he settled down.
And then Devin Harris has a couple of assists, 1 turnover, and 3 points. Dampier against Sura. Picked up by Howard. There is the aforementioned Jason Terry. He played at Arizona. How
about this matchup? Nowitzki and McGrady.
Oh, great pass. Nowitzki. Terry for 3. Picked up by Terzi. McGrady has now got 8 rebounds and 8 assists. Houston is 7 of 10 in this 4th quarter shooting the ball. They've hit their last 4. They can take a lead with the hit right here and under 3 to play. Berry. Inside, Yao for the lead. He got it. And the Rockets on top by 1. And Yao with the game high 31. He's gone 12 of 13 from the field.
Composure. If you're Dallas, composure. You got to run a play here and get a good shot.
Nowitzki for the lead.
Why not? Why not, Dirk? Running right hand hook in the lane. You'd missed 7 straight. Now you've hit your last 3. You've got a couple assists. You've gotten to the free throw line. Now it's T-Mac's turn.
Screen by Yao. Sura for 3. Good!
Jim Van Gundy's yelling at Sura. Play. He's saying calm down. Sura hits the 3. He's holding up 3 fingers. The guy who hadn't played in the playoffs in 8 years, he's so excited. Taking Eric Dampier out of the game, and he's come back with Keith Van Horn. Why? He wants to make Yao Ming have to guard Van Horn out on the floor, which will open up other options, and Van Horn is a threat to shoot the jump shot. So he's gone now with a better offensive player in Van Horn. He's gone small with he and Nowitzki.
And keep McGrady on Nowitzki.
That's exactly right. And Yao Ming now has to guard Van Horn. Finley picked up by Sura.
shot clock is down to 7 for Jason Terry. We got a tie at 109. That is the 8th tie of the game that has also contained 6 lead changes. Each team is led by 8.
High screen and roll. You're going to see McGrady and Yao Ming. How are they going to defend it?
McGrady down the lane and lost the ball. Picked up now by Terry and Dallas. Good transition defense by the Rockets. They got back in time.
Nowitzki being guarded by Barry. Getting the basketball.
Van Horn. Nowitzki with the screen. And then they throw it away. Mike James. Terry knocked it out of his hand and out of bounds. 1:15 to play. Howard's got 31. McGrady's got 26. Nowitzki's got 24. 1:15 to play. We're tied for the 8th time at 109. Sean Barry. McGrady to Yao. That's happened all night long. A great assist for T-Mac, his 9th. And Yao with the game-high 33.
Great execution out of the timeout. Jeff Van Gundy has to be thrilled with that play.
Jason Terry. Nowitzki battling Sura. Vacuumed in by Barry.
To get it across here, you've only got about 3 seconds. Dallas does not need to foul.
McGrady's got a double-double, and he's 2 rebounds away from a triple-double.
Keep your eye on John Barry. He loves these kind of situations, taking shots.
McGrady for 2, picked up by Finley. And Dallas now, down by 2, will take time. There are no fouls to give either way.
I think they dribbled the basketball there, so they're not going to be able to advance it. They're going to have to take it back in the three-quarter court. Now, you can advance it if you take another timeout, but I don't know if Avery's want to burn one of those.
Avery Johnson taking over in mid-season from Don Nelson, and he finishes the year, does Johnson, 16-2 overall. They are 25-6 under Avery Johnson.
You know, Dirk Nowitzki does not have a 3 in the first game or tonight. You've got to see the matchups. Nowitzki here, Tracy McGrady, and once again, Van Horn is in the game with Yao Ming. Van Horn very capable of stepping out and hitting a long jump shot. I would expect Dirk Nowitzki to get the ball in his hands, though.
Finley picked up by Sura. McGrady on Nowitzki. This Kataya.
That was a big-time play. Tracy McGrady had to defend it perfectly. Step back and hit a brilliant shot. Last possession here, Rockets to win the game.
To take a 2-0 lead. Oh, Tracy McGrady with 2.2 to play. Knocks in a 2-point shot to give him the lead and maybe a 2-0 lead in this best-of-7 first-round Western Conference Series. Because he's a good perimeter defender. Howard to Finley. And the Houston Rockets have taken a 2-0 lead.